Okay, now we'll start with the third module. Okay. Before going to that, we'll see the syllabus once for the third module. Is it visible PDF?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the third module. We have 8051 stack, input output port interfacing and programming. Here what we discussed in the last module, we have discussed some of the instructions, that is call instructions, jump instruction, compare instructions. Based on that, we are going to discuss some of the programs, assembly language program examples on subroutine and involving loops. Here this module is entirely based on the programs. We are going to discuss the programs here, and second part of this module is interfacing simple switch and LED to the input output port to switch on off LED with respect to the switch status. We are going to use one LED. We are going to use the input output port what we discussed in the last class, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3. We are going to connect LED to blink the LED with respect to the ports we are going to use of your 8051. Okay, based on that, first we already discussed about 8051 stack and stack with respect to subroutine. How we are going to call the instruction by make use of subroutines, subprograms, how we are going to call in the middle of the program, how we are going to execute, that we are going to discuss by make use of some of the programs. Okay, this is a syllabus for module 3. Okay, now coming to the module 3, first we'll start with one program. Is it visible, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the assembly language program. First we'll start with one program. We'll discuss multiply using repetitive addition. Okay, for example, don't take this number initially. I will tell one simple example. Now, if I am going to take multiply using repetitive addition, meaning I will take one decimal number 2. I am going to take. I am going to multiply 2 with respect to 12. What is the answer if I am going to multiply 2 and 12 with respect to decimal? If I am going to multiply 2 and 12, what is the answer? ಏನ್ರಿ multiplication
24, sir.
24, sir.
24, sir.
24.
ಯಾವ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ರು? ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಬೇಕಾ 24 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಾ? I will take one decimal number 2. I am going to multiply into 12. My answer will be 24. But this is a multiplication. Here they are asking multiply using repetitive addition, means I need to get my answer will be 24, but I should not multiply, means I need to add repetitively. First, see example org00h. It means that it will be starts with a 00h address. It will be starts with a 00h org. What exactly? This we can discuss later. Now move r1 comma 0. What is your r1 value? R1 is equal to 0. R1 is equal to, is it visible everyone? I am writing here. R1 is equal to 0. Why I am going to take this
Sir,
R1? R1 is equal to 0. First instruction, move R1 comma hash 0. I am going to load 0 with respect to the R1. Why I am going to use R1 R0? Here they had given store this result in R1 and R0. My LSB should be in the R0. My MSB should be in the R1. I need to store my data output. Final output will be in R0 as well as R1. Okay. Now I am that is why I am going to use R1 as well as R0. Okay. Now I will take move R1 comma 0. Initially I will consider 0 with respect to the R1. Now move A comma 0. Initially I am going to load with a 0 for the accumulator. 0 with the accumulator. Now move R0 comma as 25. What is this? 25. This is my count. This is my count. How many times I need to add? I need to get 24. I need to add 12 times. I need to add 12 times. Here my R0 count will be 12. My R0 count will be 12. So that R0 is equal to 12. I am going to load. Okay. You can we can add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. 12 times if you add, you will get 24. You are going to get. That is why I will take a count as a 25. Okay, whatever the multiplication number is there, that we can take it as a counter. Now add a comma as 0 2. Okay, I have considered an example of 2 and 12. That is why I am going to add a comma 0 2. What is the answer you are going to get? If I am going to add 0 plus 2, if I am going to add 0 plus 2, I will get 2 is my answer. So that 2 will be loaded with the accumulator. First condition, 0 will be erased and 2 will be loaded with the accumulator. Why? Because add a comma 0 2 0. Okay, add a comma 2. Initially in the accumulator it is a 0. Now I am going to add 0 plus 2 and the result will be stored in the accumulator. Now my accumulator will be loaded with a number 2. Now jump if no carry. Jump if no carry. Whether you got the carry?
Sir, we can't see the example you are writing, sir.
On PPT I am writing.
No, sir. We can't see, sir.
We can't see, sir.
Okay, you make a note of this program. Again I will use with a notepad. Make a note of this program. Or
1 minute, sir.
okay, make a note. All of you get ready with your calculator. Keep it in hexadecimal mode. First I will just I'm explaining for decimal. You should try for hexadecimal. 4.
Yes, sir.
Have you traced the program?
Yes, sir.
Got the answer? See, now notepad is visible.
Yes, sir.
See, now I will take an example, repetitive multiplication. Repetitive multiplication. I need to multiply 2 into 12. Okay, that is equal to 24. I am not going to multiply, I am going to add. I am going to add, keep on 2 plus 2 plus, initially 0 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, like this I am going to add. Such a way that I am going to write the program here. Okay, org 000H. Next, move R1 comma as 0 move A comma as 0 move R0 comma. I need to take the count. This is my count. 12 is my count. Okay, then add A comma as 2 I am going to consider. I am going to add repetitively 2. Okay, then jump if no carry to here. I will write the label. Increment R1. Next, this is a label. Again, after this we'll have decrement if jump if not equal to 0 or not, comma again move R0 comma A. This is some repetitive small jump instruction. SJ MP2 here, jump to here. Here I am going to take SJump and end the program. After this I am going to end the program. Now, okay, first instruction. What is your first instruction? Move R1 comma 0. Initially R1 is equal to 0. Now A is equal to 0. R0 is equal to 12. Okay. Now add A comma 02. Initially accumulator is equal to 0. I need to add 2. My accumulator will be loaded with a 2. After adding accumulator is equal to 0, and if I'm going to add 2, the data will be stored in the accumulator. The result will be stored in accumulator. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now jump if no carry. Whether you got the carry, if I'm going to add 0 plus 2, whether you got the carry?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
No carry. That is why jump if no carry to here. Where is the label? Here label is here. Now DJNZ. What is the DJNZ? Decrement jump if not equal to 0 or not, means decrement if jump if not equal to 0. R0 is not equated to 0, so that again we need to jump here. This will becomes 11. Initially R0 will be 12. After it will reaches here, this will be decreasing. To 11. Again I am going to again where is the label? Again will be present over here. Again I am going to here. Add A comma 2. Okay, now accumulator is having 2. I need to add 2 plus 2. My value will be 4. Am I right? Again accumulator is loaded with a 4. Okay, here also I am not getting any carry, so that jump if no carry. I didn't get any carry, so that I am going to jump here. Okay, again I am going to use djnz. Decrement jump if not equal to 0. This is not equal to 0. Why? Because R0 is having the value 11. If it is once R0 reaches, the program will be end. Next condition, move R0 comma A. Whatever the accumulator final output we have in the accumulator, that will be moving to your R0. Then it will be going to end the program. Okay, until it reaches 0 means whatever the 12 counts I need to do after it reaches 0, then only program will be end. Okay, now two conditions is over. Now we need to get a carry. Jump if carry to here. Okay, if I'm going to get the carry, again in the next step, increment of R1. R1 is having 0. If I'm going to get the increment, R1 is 0, it will be changes to 1. Okay, like that it will be keep on running up to 12 counts. 12 counts. Okay, this is a general for the decimal. Now I'm going to change the values. I'm going to change the values. Now move add a comma ash 0 ECH means this is a hexadecimal. EC I'm going to consider. EC I'm going to consider. What is the now we need to trace the program. Okay, what is my count value now? What is the count? The program what they have given count is 25. Alvin Ray.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
What they had given EC into 0.25. That is why we need to take a R0 value will be 25H. Why? Because 25 times we need to add repeatedly. That is why we need to take R0 is equal to 25. R0 is equal to 25. Now add a comma 0 EC. Initially we have a 0 plus EC. 0 plus EC. You will get EC only. That will be loaded in the accumulator. Now in jump if no carry. Have you got any carry? If I am going to add 0 plus EC, I am not getting any carry. So that accumulator is loaded with the EC. So that jump if no carry. Jump if no carry to here. Here, if I am going to get decrement jump if not equal to R0 again. Okay, this becomes, it will be going to compare with this R0 value. This R0 value will be 24. Decrement jump if not equal to 0. So that it will be going to decrement 24. Again, add a comma EC. Already we have a EC in the accumulator. Again I am going to add EC to the accumulator. What is my output? If I am going to add EC plus EC in the hexadecimal, what you will get? Yen barutre?
D8.
1 D8 you will get.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
This is your carry. Okay, jump if no carry. Here we got the carry. You should not jump to here. Why? Because we got a carry. That is why increment R1. R1 becomes 1. R1 becomes 1. Why? Because we have a carry. That carry will be stored in the R1. Increment carry. Next instruction. Decrement jump if not equal to R0. R0 is decrement jump if not equal to 0. R0 is not equal to 0. So that we are going to decrement this value 23. Again add a comma ash 0 EC. We already got the carry to R1. We are already stored. Now we have a D8 in the accumulator. Again we need to add EC to the D8. What is the answer you are going to get? 1 C4 we are going to get. Again we got the carry. This carry will be stored in the accumulator, R1 register R1. Again it will be increment R1. Why? Because we got the carry, increment R1. If you are not getting any carry, it will not be increment. Directly it will be coming over here. Like that, if you will keep on continuing for the 25 times, your output will be, final output will be, what you are going to get? lower will be stored in LSB will be stored in R0. Whatever the accumulator we are going to get, that will be stored in the accumulator. That will be 2 to H we are going to get. Then with respect to R0, R0 LSB will be carry 1C we are going to get. This is with respect to R0 and this is with respect to R1 we are going to get. If you want, you can trace for the 24 types. You will get the final answer. Trace up to end. Tell me what is the answer you are going to get. Make it fast. Anywhere you're not getting a carry. At some point you will not get the carry. You will get 0F. At the 12th iteration, you will get 0F. If you are going to add 0F to EC, you will get FB. You are not going to get the carry across the 12th iteration. All of you try. Got rest? Okay, next we'll have call instruction is used in the subroutine. How exactly we are going to use the call instruction? In the next slide, we have a structure regarding subroutines. Here we have a subroutines are the used to perform the tasks that we need to be performed frequently. This makes a program for more structured in the addition to saving the memory space. We are going to use these subroutines to store the additional programs. And here we are going to use two different calls, that is L call and A call. L call means it's a long call and absolute call we are going to call. With respect to the L call, it's having a 3 byte of instruction. First byte is the opcode and second and third byte is going to be address of the target subroutine. Okay, subroutine is located anywhere within 64 kilobytes of the address space. Okay, somewhere in the memory location with respect to the 64 kilobytes of address, we are going to retrieve the program. That we can call it as a L call. And in the A call, absolute call, here we have a 2 byte instruction. 11 bits are used for the address within 2 kilobytes range, and 5 bits we are going to call it as a opcode. That we have already discussed in the last class. Now here we have a call and subroutine. Now with respect to related with respect to the call and subroutines. When we are going to use the subroutine is called the control is transferred to the subroutine. The processor will save the stack of the address, and in the instructions we are going to immediately use the L call instruction. Okay, it will be going to begin with the fetch instruction from the new location. Okay, how exactly that will be going to show here. See, this is the some structure of a call and subroutine. How exactly we are going to assembly main program that will call the subroutine. For example, here main program calling the subroutines. This is the main program I am going to use here, org00h and L call subroutine 1 and L call subroutine 2 and L call subroutine 3. I am going to call 3 subprograms. Okay, in the single program. For example, understand, in a single program, I am going to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. All 4 I am going to perform in the single program. Okay, I am going to take main program. First, I am going to write the addition program and subtraction program, multiplication program and division program. Okay, whenever I want, I can call the whichever I want, that program I am going to call and I am going to execute or perform the operation, and I am going to return back that program, and again I am going to call the some other program. That is the what exactly the meaning of subroutine. Subroutine is a small program. It is present in the main program. Okay, I'm going to consider one main program. In that I'm going to take a sub programs, 3 sub programs or 4 sub programs I'm going to use. It is like a loop. For example, I'm going to execute with a main program. If I want to take some delay, I will write some delay program. Why? Because need to make delay from one program to another program. Okay, delay program is also one of the program. We can call whenever we want delay from first program to second program, we want some gap. We are going to call the delay program and we'll make some delay to execute the next program. Okay, that is the meaning of call and subroutine. How exactly? See here, once if I am going to call, see here sjump, this program will be end of the main program will be end. Subroutine underscore 1. Okay, I am going to write the small program and I am going to return. Okay, once if I am going to call subroutine by make use of subroutine underscore 1 means a sub program of a first one I'm going to call. After completing that small program, I'm going to take it as a return instruction. If that will be executed with a return instruction, that will be executed. The subprogram 1 will be executed. After that, it will be going to return. Then again, it will be going to call subprogram 2. Like that, it will be after executing this, it will be going to end the second program also. Again, by make use of subroutine 3, it will be going to call the third subprogram to execute in the main program. Okay, like that, it will be going to call frequently for the subprograms. See here how exactly the structure. This is a main program. Instruction 1, for example, move a comma b and move some number to the accumulator or register, and if I'm going to move b comma some number, okay, so on. 10 instructions I have. Now here after 10 instruction I have subroutine call, means I need some other program. I'm going to call the subroutine. If I'm going to call the subroutine, it will be going to execute the some other mini program. For example, up to here some instructions or addition program is going on. After 10th instruction, I'm going to call the subroutine, means I'm going to call some other subprogram. Okay, if I'm going to call the subprogram, here in the subprogram instruction A, see here I had given instruction 1, 2, 3, so on 10. I am going to differentiate with respect to instruction with respect to the alphabets. This is not a registers. Keep it in mind. This is not a registers. Okay, I am going to categorize the main program and a subprogram. Instruction number 1, instruction number 2, instruction number 3. Okay, up to instruction number 10 is a main program. I am going to call the subprogram. Subroutine call. I am going to call the subprogram. That subprogram instructions I had given like a instruction A, instruction B, instruction C, so on up to instruction N number of instructions I had given. After executing all these instructions, I am going to give a return instruction. If it is return means understand that it will be going to the main program. Again, it will be come back to the 11th instructions of the main program. Okay, this is what we have a exact structure of a subroutine call and subroutine. Okay, when in stack also we are going to use in this type of programs. Here I have written the stack pointer. Okay, initially after executing the 10th instruction, stack pointer will be present at the 07 location. Okay, addition with 1, it will be going to take the program counter lower byte and program counter higher byte. It will be 2 byte instruction. Here I had given, see here, this is a long call. If it is 3 byte instruction, first will be opcode and second 2 will be address. This makes that second byte of the address it will be going to take. Okay, here stack pointer will be at 07. It will be addition of 1 and addition of 2. It will be push the instruction to the location 00 to 07, program counter lower byte and program counter higher byte. Like this, it will be going to use the stack pointer. Okay, make a note of this structure. If you want, you can make a note of this. Better, you can make a note of this one. It will be clear. Understood? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Make a note of this. Or
2 minutes, sir.
we take one simple program. So toggle all bits of a port 1 by sending 55H and AAH. Toggle all bits of port 1 by sending 55H and AAH. Program will be starts at org 0H or 00H. We can take. We'll take one label back move A comma #55H. Now I will take move port 1 comma A, L call delay, move A comma #0 AAH, and I'm going to again load move P1 comma A, L call delay, S jump back. Okay, now take your calculators. Move program will be starts at org00H. This is the assembler directive. Move A comma #55H. Accumulator is having a how many bits accumulator? If I'm going to have 55H in terms of hexadecimal. If it is in binary, what is the 55 equivalent of binary?
0 1
0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, this is a hexadecimal equivalent 55. I'm going to load it to accumulator. That is the binary equivalent of 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Okay, now next instruction move port 1 comma A. This is your port 1. This is your port 1. Port 1.0 to port 1.7. Now whatever the content in the accumulator, that I am going to load it to port 1. Whatever the bits we have here, 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1, it will be loaded to the port 1. Okay, now in the port 1, port 1.0 will be turned on. Logic 1, it means that it is on. Logic 0, it will be off condition. Okay, on off on off on off on off. What is your aim? What is the question? Toggle all bits of port 1 by sending 55H. Toggling means alternate on off condition. See, from port 1.0 to port 1.7, on off. It means that it's a toggling condition. Now the bits wherever 0, 2, 4, 6 will be turned on, remaining will be turned off condition. Okay, now I am going to take some delay. Okay, until it will take another program. It will be going to in the first condition. First condition will be 55 loaded with the port 1. Okay, now L call delay. Okay, L call delay. Now I am going to take a delay for some time. This will be in the on process. This port 1 will be added with a 55. This is a toggling process with respect to the port 1. Now I am going to add move A comma #0 AAH. What is the? Now I am going to add accumulator with a AA. What is the binary equivalent of AA?
10 10 10 10.
Yes, 10 10 10 10. Quite opposite of this 55. 55 is 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. AA will be 10 10 10 10 until I am going to load with respect to the port 1 of a accumulator. This AA value, this will be turned on before last condition will be turned on. Means that will be toggling. Now if I am going to add this 0A to the port 1, now it will be going to change. It will be toggle condition. Means before in the case 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1, now it will be 10 10 10 10. Now port 1 initially port 1.0 it will be 1. Now it becomes 0. 0 becomes 1. Like that it will be going to change. Like this we are going to toggle the program. Here I have two different programs. That is First, I'm going to load A is port 1 will be 55, and another program I'm going to load port 1 with respect to the AA. Okay, this is the difference with respect to the two different numbers. By make use of that, I'm going to toggle the bits. Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay, if you want, you can make a note of that. Give 5 minutes time. I will take the attendance. Another 7 slides are there. We will continue in the next class. See, this module is purely programs. In the external exam, they will ask program and some theory concepts of call and subroutine. Based on the call and subroutine, they are going to ask the theory concept.